Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Roleplay. Far Verona, you have an important role to make. Jason Argus,
Yes.
an important role. But before we do that, Max, you got any more bad puns for me? Or?
It's gonna be a harrowing experience.
Wow,
that's a good one. I like that one. I like that because it's inside bones. Okay, so Jason, we see you. We do the like Saturday morning cartoon. We rewind a few seconds and we get it from a different angle where the guy's looking at you, and you go to shake his hand and grab him, and your intent is to what? What do you describe? How this is going to go in your head if you succeed?
Yeah, so he's got the hand. He tightens his grip, grabs the hand, pulls the shoulder towards him, and then he's gonna basically bring the guys down, or maybe like just kind of like use the shoulder to kind of like and use his forearm to like snap the arm backwards.
Yeah,
I don't want to kill the guy, but I need him to be out of the running. So
yes, yeah, you just want to cripple him badly. Okay, good. Getting your arm yanked out of its socket.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's have you roll. Was it punch?
Punch.
Roll punch.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strength.
Yeah, and I will also roll. All right, you got an 8. Let's see how I do.
Please do badly.
Motherfucker's ready for you. So instead, you reach out to grab his hand.
Do I get my expert reroll thing back, or is that
you get it once between breaks? So you did get it back. It did recharge. Would you like to reroll? Yeah.
Seems
okay. Okay. All right. Number to beat is 11.
Oh no! I should have probably realized that 11 was going to be too high, but
okay. So he's gonna judo you a little bit. So this little guy's used to getting in fights. So you reach out and you grab him, you yank him towards you, and he uses the force of the pull, and he pushes towards you, and he drives his forehead, like he nails you and he headbutts you basically. So he like comes up at you with his forehead. So I'm gonna you just take 1 damage. Your head snaps back, and you feel something. He doesn't like break your nose necessarily, but like there's bright lights. Your head snaps back. What are you gonna do? Because you can't really see. Everything's all like bright lights, and there's this.
But I know he's right in front of me because
between your eyes. You do know he's right in front of you, yeah.
I get the stun baton on my side, flick it out, and I fucking whack him. I'm just gonna like
okay, so you're gonna snap the baton out. Okay, yeah, all right. Like, I mean, let's roll initiative. Let's roll initiative, I guess. So he's gonna try to pull a gun, and it's turned into a whole thing. So roll a d8 plus. Oh, it's a d8 plus or minus your if you have an intelligence modifier.
I always shoot him back of the head.
It's just 0.
That's been going on.
That's been going on. Okay.
Roll a 1.
Okay, so he headbutts you. You stagger back. He pulls a gun on you. He's really fast too. Oh, that's right. You're alert. You have a thing for this, don't you?
Yeah. Cannot be surprised. Cannot be executed.
Roll twice, so you get to reroll your initiative.
But you rolled an 8.
Let's see if you can tie. If you can tie with me. I'm just really good at role-playing games. Oh shit! Okay, all right. So let me look at what happens if there's a thing for breaking a tie. Nice work, though.
It's the initiative, please.
Okay, let's see. So combat round, normal initiative roll. Let's see here. On a tie, there we go. NPCs usually have no modifier. Participants act in order. PCs win ties. Okay. So your alertness saves you. So he pulls the gun, you snap the baton, and you want to hit him with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is 3 shock versus anything under AC 15. So
he's just wearing a flight suit.
Even if I miss him. So even if I miss him, it would still do 3 damage, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll.
And there's no modifier, it's just my attack roll, right?
If you have a base attack bonus and then it's modified by your
added in, I think.
Modified by your strength. You should have it all squared.
Yeah, I think it's already got it in there. 10 damage.
Oh my god. Jesus
Boom, I don't want to kill
Christ.
him. I don't want to kill him. I want to knock him out.
Let's so we'll we'll see what non-lethal is. He has 4 hit points, so you deal him enough damage that you could kill him twice. Let's see if you just fucking snap his head off.
I don't want to kill him. Okay, well, too bad because you just did.
You just did.
Jeez.
Your immense strength, you gigantic freak.
Big strong boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cinnamon roll.
Let me see. Yeah. Listen, this cinnamon roll is poisonous. All right.
I feel bad for any pets Jason had as a kid.
I love you.
Okay, foes brought down with fists, blunt objects, or other less than lethal means may merely be unconscious or incapacitated if the assailant was not trying to kill him. This is explicitly a weapon for that. So he's just very unconscious. So you probably, I mean, you describe it. He's going for his gun. He's fast, right? But you're more alert. So he gets his hand on his gun. He gets the gun pointed in your direction as you're doing this. What do you do?
I like shove the gun with the other hand, and then this thing just beans him right in the forehead, and the stun like crackles, and it just like an instant. He's just out.
Yeah. Man, taking a stun. You like he's unconscious. And he will probably not die, but like you've definitely cracked his skull. And yeah, there's this loud like thunk, and the you can feel the vibration in the baton as you bang him right in the forehead. His head snaps backwards. He fires once up in the air, just fires up into the atmosphere, and tumbles over backwards, bleeding from his nose.
Okay. And then I want to look around, and is there like somewhere I can drag his ass over to and like shove him in like a locker or something?
So we see everyone around you kind of like staring and like looking at you, and then as soon as you look up, they all look away. Like, don't.
Can I do a Harrison Ford in Last Crusade and just go like no ticket or something like that, and then like drag him over, like owes me money, and then like drag him over. Locker.
Yeah. So you just press a button, your baton like retracts, and there's this guy lying on his back, bleeding from his nose.
Yep. And then I shove him in a locker like a bully.
Just grab his boot, drag him over to an empty cargo container, and flop him in it, and then just hit close, and it closes and seals.
Yep.
Oh God.
Well, in 45 episodes from now, when like an angry Thai dude corners you with like a bad scar on his forehead, and he corners you in a bar, and you're like,
never see me again.
Right? Yeah, he's been sealed away in a cargo container to be taken off to another planet, but someday. Okay, so you just dunk this dude.
Who
knows?
Well,
I don't know who that was. You just murdered him.
He's not dead. That's the point, Anne. He's not.
We got
dead.
ourselves a backup Yancey. Okay.
He'll
detail about all of his exploits, how he got to you, I was in a prison, and
don't ask who he is, because then I have to name him.
Yeah, exactly. And either way, I don't want him in the ship. So he's out of the picture.
So
they're gonna think
we see you drag him over and like flop him into this cargo container. And then when you turn, we can see in the background somebody else. There's another person. She's wearing a flight suit, and she's like watching. And when you turn around, she just shakes her head and walks the other direction, like she just leaves the spaceport. Yeah, right. And
good thumbs up. Good choice.
Yeah. And then where do you go from there?
Wait for my job.
So you just head back and you sit down. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So can I
get a hit point back by the time that comes around?
No, you have to like rest.
Clearing my nose.
You have to rest like you're gonna have to get a nap. But there might be time when you're going to the moon and back to recover. And so you're sitting there on this cargo container, watching them load the empty milk canisters into the back of the thing, and and I think we cut from there to see what everybody else is up to. You've solved that problem, and then we'll get you on your ship.
I'm gonna eat a sandwich and mute my mic.
Thrown in a cargo container. Gotta keep track of my NPCs here. Okay, so Nomi, you had a follow up on your last action. What do you want to do?
Yeah. So I'm back in my like room, I guess, and I'm gonna like
Okay.
buzz to call Yancey.
Okay. All right. So you you call him, and you hear the like boop boop outside, letting you know somebody is at the door.
Cool. I like yell out at the door. It's open.
Okay. Slides open, and Yancey's there, and he's like basically dressed the same. He's just kind of in his like, I'm not going out to do stuff, but I'm like casually dressed up. And he looks at you. What are you doing? Are you just like sitting looking at your data pad? Are you meditating? What does he see when he comes in? The door slides away.
Yeah, I was sitting cross-legged on like a like small rug on the floor,
Mm,
and when he comes in, I stand up.
okay. All right. So he says, you needed something serious.
Yes, Officer Ibanez, I have a bit of a problem which could use your help if you are interested in working on something for me. However, I need your assurance that you can do this without being caught.
Well, that's a tall order, Cirrus. He steps in and the door slides shut. What is it?
How do you feel about working alone?
I prefer it.
Excellent. I have some information on someone who we need to get rid of. They might cause a problem for us. It was someone who I had to dispose of, and unfortunately, he fell into the wrong hands. I'm worried about the information that he might be giving about us. And since I know that you understand that it's important for us to remain undetected on Honglu, I thought that perhaps you could help with this situation. And I like hand him the like data pad of all the information that I had on Barnes.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't actually have to physically the way that information transfer works, you don't have to physically give it to him. You can just kind of like make a gesture over it and then kind of flick it to him. And so he's already got his pad out and he's looking at it.
Cool.
Kind of flips through it and he shakes his head and he says, the only thing worse than an enemy is a friend that got compromised. Shame when that happens. You think you can trust a person. My God. So
It's very unfortunate.
you need help with this Barnes?
Yes. I don't know what he's already told the Honglu authorities. It's possible that, as weak of a spirit as he has, he probably already told them everything. So if you can, I need you to get in undetected. I need you to eliminate Barnes, however you feel necessary, and to get rid of any information that they might have on us. Do you think you can do that? I know it's a lot to ask, but I trust you, Yancey.
You want me to do all this by myself?
Do you think that... How many people do you think you would need? Or would you prefer to work alone?
Prefer to work alone, but something like this? I mean, he's probably being held in, well, whatever this planet considers a secure location. I'm not too worried about that, but these are a violent and dangerous people. Hmm. I prefer not to go looking for outside help. Maybe I take Ramirez and Holtzman with me?
Um, just thinking about it. Uh,
Yeah, and it's totally reasonable for Nomi to not like have to think as much about this as you do. Like, I think the impression that we get here is that like Nomi is very together, and like even if you need a second, Nomi probably doesn't. So
yeah. Um, I wonder if taking 3 on a covert mission might draw attention. Do you think you could get away with just Ramirez?
it's gonna make it more difficult. But I don't just need backup. I mean, we're gonna need equipment, which means I need to be able to go out there and buy things.
What can I do to help with that?
You and Officer Greaves both have requisition authorization. Give me the codes.
I don't
I'll make
think
sure
you
it
need the
doesn't track.
codes.
He says, I'll make sure it doesn't track back to you, but I need a loose leash on this one.
Is it possible for me to like authorize payments remotely for that? Or like, do I have to
Yeah.
be there? Okay.
No. I mean, you can set it up so that when he goes to buy something, you get a notification and can approve or not.
Yeah. Okay. I want to do that. So I just like tell him like, it's not possible for me to transfer the codes to you, but I'm happy to help you with any of the requirements or any of the requisitions that you need. All you need to do is just let me know when you need to purchase something, and I'll make sure it happens.
And I assume Officer Greaves doesn't need to know about this little operation.
No, I think that Officer Greaves will, honestly, perhaps, between you and I, be happy to notice that you're gone.
Whatever
And,
helps the old man sleep at night.
and assuming that you're successful, this is good for all of us.
Good for you, maybe. Good for the unit, but make a talk roll.
Okay.
Yeah, make a talk roll with charisma. I basically just want to see if he's going to ask for more. Okay.
10.
But you know me, loyal to the hierarchy. You say jump, I say how high. So,
Is that it?
you want me to
From
go
him?
take care
He's
of
not
this
gonna ask.
now?
Okay.
No, you got a 10. If you had gotten a 7 and 9, he probably would have been like, okay, but you got to do this. Like
Yeah.
this late, he'll try to leverage this later, but he's not going to ask you for like a favor right now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. When he says like loyalty to the hierarchy and everything, then I kind of just, like give him a small smile, and I'm like, it's good to see that loyalty still matters. Thank you, Yancey, and good luck on your journey.
Yeah. Yeah, he grins and he says, I was sick of all this sitting around anyway. And yeah, and then he heads out to go and tell Ramirez they have a mission to accomplish.
Good luck.
Okay. So, yeah, it's win-win for you because either he does it or gets himself killed. Hopefully he doesn't get caught and then sell you all out.
Yeah.
Ramirez.
It's a bold
Yancey,
move.
off to
This fucking planet, man.
with Clarence. Right? Everybody's a friend till they're a liability.
We thought the last mission went bad.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna just roll in secret here, and I'll take a screenshot to share in the thread later. I'll just roll in secret to see if they succeed or not. It'll happen over time, but let's take a look.
Yeah.
One roll to rule them all.
Okay.
Decide if Yancey gets murdered.
Screen grab that roll there. Okay. Cool. All right. So he's gonna go, and you over the course of the next little while, you get a few notifications of like purchases, like credit transfers to be made. It doesn't say for what, but it's expensive. It's in the thousands. And then later you can decide how to handle that. But it's pulling from the ship, like the Justicar account. So yeah, so you get that showing up. He's obviously doing the mission. One thing about letting a noble have access to your account is like he's not going to go out and buy something expensive and then fuck off, right? Because if he wanted a spaceship, he could just ask mom and dad for one. So like the money isn't the problem; it's the trail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Okay. All right. So Ramirez and Yancey are going to go do that. They're going to be off screen for a while. Do you have anything else that you want to do in relation to this plan? Like when he goes to do that, or are you ready to let him do the thing?
Yeah, I mean, since I don't know like how they're going to be doing any of this, I'm not really. I'm like very hands off, like letting them take
You
care
got
of it.
plausible deniability all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah.
So Yancey and Ramirez are gone?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
he
my
wanted
question
to
was,
go-
do you warn Booker? Do you go to Officer Graves and are like, hey, they're gonna be gone? Or do you just let him discover this on his own?
That's
Yeah, I'm
that's-
not gonna say anything.
Okay. I'm just making sure it's up to Booker whether or not he notices anything's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So he heads off, and that happens. So let's get your milk run sorted out here, Jason. We'll get you in the air, and then and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, so the vehicle is loaded up, and you walk up, and you see I think you see Priscilla. You see Miss Bukowski, and she's talking to one of the tech officers, and she basically is just like they're going through a checklist to make sure that all the stuff has been loaded. And she turns to you as she sees you walk up, and then you see her look at you, and then like look around, and then look at her chronometer, and then look at you.
So
And not to be like you're
right?
late, but to be like she's checking to see if it's the time she thinks it is. So yeah, is everything all right? And she's like, I suppose it is. So this is the ship, and she gestures to it. I love that you just like let her hang, because she was kind of like waiting, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to be like, yeah, I took care of the rest of those goons, but you just leave it on the DL. You're just like, nope, I'm the only one here.
He's like, yeah, he just like gives a smile. Like, I think like Jason, this lady seems pretty smart. She'll put 2 and 2 together. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's not.
Okay. Yeah. So she looks at the ship. She's like, this is the ship. Keys are in the ignition. The flight plan is already laid out. You shouldn't have any trouble, but in case you do, avoid it, I guess. You need to get those cylinders up to she said you need to get those cylinders up to buy. Wait there. They're gonna reload you with some cargo to bring back here. Do that. Drugs. And that's it.
Fantastic. And the key here is avoidance. Speed and
she
delicacy.
nods and she says the local government has a pretty good control over the space, but there's always going to be people who are looking for an opportunity to make a quick credit. So,
Of course.
you know, you're a target, but there's lots of targets. We'll see how it goes. But
And don't worry, Miss
get up there as quick
Bukowski.
and back as quick as you can.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll see you in a few.
So she gestures, gives you control of the ship. And she leaves you with her like, I mean, she'll know when the ship arrives, when it returns, right? So you you go and you get in, and this is very, very much like the space equivalent of like a long haul cargo truck, like little cab, a little cab in it. There's probably like a sleeper unit behind you that you can open. The inside is kind of grimy, smells like cigarette smoke. There's the control console in front of you. Many of the consoles labels have worn off and been like rewritten with a marker on tape. And then hanging from or sitting on the dash is a little plastic cow with its head, and its head is just bobbing back and forth. And you get into the cracked vinyl seating of the inside of the ship.
I like look around, and Jason kind of just mutters under his breath. He's just like, first real ship, and it's this piece of shit.
Yeah, right. Like you come from the planet. You come from the sector of Acheron Row where the greatest ships the universe has ever known are crafted in the glorious forges of House Fornax. Yeah. It is in your blood to summon forth the greatest things that we have ever flown in. But you get this. You get a milk truck. So that's a good.
Yep. Cool.
Good.
And I'll kick the basics, startup sequence, get engines revving and everything else, and then make sure I've got a clear path, and then get this thing out into orbit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's pretty junky, but yeah, you can see that the cargo container behind you is refrigerated. It's like a cooled
Mhm.
container for atmospheric flight.
Mhm.
It'll vent atmo when you get up into space, so that the vacuum will just keep it cold.
Mhm.
And the console, yeah, lights up. A couple of the panels, you flip the switch and nothing happens. You have to like flip it a couple of times before it turns on.
Mhm.
And yeah, and as soon as the thing sort of comes to life, immediately you hear this like grating, like a heavy metal guitar under like a woman singing in like a very high pitched, like shrill voice, um, as the sound system comes on,
Mhm.
which I assume you turn it off.
Turn it down, perhaps, but not completely off.
Right, little local color.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you adjust the volume, and we see the ship.
It's not space country, so
Yeah, exactly. We see the
yeah.
ship fly off into the atmosphere. So leaving Honglu is an interesting experience, because you go from the darkness of the smog up to the upper atmosphere, where you can actually see the sort of top spires, the expensive parts of the city. And from up here above the smog layer, the sun lends the smog this kind of like beautiful like pink and orange tone. And for the
Mm,
first time since you got here, Honglu actually looks like kind of nice when you're not
mm,
down in the choking atmosphere. So
yeah.
there's this period of light, and then you leave it, and then you're in the darkness of space.
Okay.
There's a ton of dead hardware hovering around the planet, like in orbit, like
Mhm.
former Imperial satellites that have been shut down, that sort of thing. And you can see in the distance, you can see the moon
Okay.
up in space. You just head
As
there.
soon as we get a chance to, I want to just like with the milk truck, because I know that it's kind of a pretty big junker. I do maybe not like go too much, but I just want to get a feel for the controls. Make sure that if anything does kick off, that I'm ready. So like make sure I get a handle on like how well it turns, or like kind of make sure I can get a figure on like the
Okay.
speed.
Yeah,
And just
make a pilot roll with intelligence.
oh, okay.
Yeah, make a pilot roll. Nice. Okay. All right. So the ship, I mean, again, it's better than it looks. The software that it's running is like a cracked firmware for a better ship,
Mhm,
to compensate for the engines being stronger than the ship normally would be.
mhm,
Um, you notice that the glove compartment, like when you're doing the check, the glove compartment is fake. You can't actually
mhm.
open it. There's a button underneath the console, like a hidden switch.
Mm. Do I know what it does?
No, it is just a little metal dongle, and it's currently in one position, and you can flick it, and it'll be in the other position.
Okay, I will keep a note of that because the test pilot in Jason is like, I want to hit the switch. I want to hit the switch. I'll hit the
Yeah,
switch if I have
you can
to.
feel it deep in your
Yeah,
gut that like
I'm
the
like,
switch. I don't know what it does.
yes,
There's one way to find out. You can do it.
yeah. I'll wait until I have, either on the way back or if things get messy, I'll flip it. But yeah, I'll
Okay.
maybe not push it right now.
Okay. Let's have you make a luck check.
Okay,
Make a luck save for me.
boom.
Nice. Okay. All right.
The
So,
rolls.
yeah, good work. So the run goes without a hitch. There are a couple of times where a ship will fly like a little too close, and
Mhm.
you start to get that feeling of like, oh, is this it? Like, am I getting set up? Are we gonna get? But no, you make it to the moon. It's like a tiny little moon covered in. And this is the thing. So as you get closer to it, you can see more and more detail of the moon. And at first, it looks just like a gray, like our moon, like Earth's moon, like a gray ball. But as you get closer, you can see that there are some places on it that have artificially induced atmosphere, like deep craters where there are atmosphere generators on the outside, and they let the gravity pull the atmo down. So these little atmosphere things in some of the crater holes. And as you get closer to your destination, you have to fly down into the atmo of one of these deep craters. And when you break the upper layer of atmo, you can see that there are perfectly hexagonal shaped fields that just extend through the whole bottom, and they're bright green. you can see like there are grasses all over the bottom of the thing, and wandering around in those grassy hexagons, you can see the real life version of the thing that's painted on the side of your vehicle. So it's just a bunch of these bovines kind of like chewing away, and you land at the facility of one of these like enormous moon space dairies, and no one really like talks to you. As soon as you land, it's like a pit crew. Like they show up, they open the back, they start pulling the containers out, and they're going fast. They're trying to like move this. They load something into the back of the vehicle that you don't get to see, and then close the doors. You hear the bang bang on the back that like you're ready to go, and your display brings up another like a return trip to the moon or planet.
And then let's get out of here. Like, I'm not messing around. My job's here to pilot. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not going to worry.
Okay. So yeah, by the time you get back, like we just crossfade to you landing. It's only been a few hours, right?
Fine. Okay.
Yeah. The whole trip is fine. You land, and I think that when you land, you are not met by Priscilla. Instead, when you land the ship, you do the power down sequence. You open the door, and you see standing on the dock. You see a group of 3 men in military fatigues, 2 of which are holding the AKs. One of them is wearing a beret, and they're waiting for you, and they look at you as soon as you open the door. You see them, and they start walking towards you.
Take like a breath, like I kind of turn away as if I'm coming out the cockpit, that there's like a and then
right. Okay, so you climb down onto the deck, and the 3 of them approach around,
arms folded,
and the officer looks at you, and he says, "Flight permit?"
I won't say anything initially. I'll just say Miss Kowalski took care of that.
She just shakes his head, and he says, "I need to see your flight permit." And he looks at the ship, and he says, "It would be in your best interests to do as we say. I'm sure all of this is just a misunderstanding, and if we could see your documentation."
I don't have any documentation, do I, Adam?
No. I mean, no, you don't. You don't have, certainly you don't have what this guy is looking for.
I will just I will say, I'd love to help you, gentlemen. My employer didn't give me the permit. Perhaps there's something else we can come to an arrangement for.
And he sort of scowls. He says, "Your employer? Who is your employer? Who does the ship belong to?"
My contact is a Miss Kowalski. That's all I have, I'm afraid. I believe that she has popular friends amongst the Port Authority.
And do you know who this Miss Kowalski works for?
I've heard that she works for a fine gentleman that's very popular with the people here. A certain, the nickname of Boss. I actually know Jason's at this point is like, yeah, I would say maybe a Boss Ho, but I'm not sure. And I'll kind of crack him a smile. I don't know what to say.
He says, "Perhaps you should come with us." And and you can see them like move slightly, like they get ready in case you want to cause trouble.
Yeah, I'll say, well, have I done something wrong? I'll just hold my hands up like I'm not going to cause any trouble.
That is for you to know and for us to find out. And
I'd hate to cause my boss's boss trouble.
Yeah, and so they don't like point the guns at you or like handcuff you or anything, but they lead you over to another vehicle that they have.
As they're leading me away,
and-
can I glance back? Like, is anybody doing anything with the ship? Like, is anybody coming to take the cargo off it, or are these guys now left it alone?
It looks like the ship is being left alone.
Okay.
It looks like they're taking you away.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, they open the back of like a military truck basically, and gesture for you to get in into the back. And the two guards with the guns get in the back with you. The officer shuts the door, and he goes around and gets into the vehicle. You can feel it like lift up and start off, and heads out into the city. Booker, how long do you wait before you start to like get worried about Jason? Like at what point?
He had like a thing set up, right, where it would ping if he didn't check in at a certain time.
Yeah, that was like a personal message though, I think.
And that hasn't gone. That was 24 hours, but you don't know about that, Booker.
Okay. So how long has it been since his last communique?
I mean, the whole trip took like 3 hours, so not long enough. But I'm just curious, how long for you? Like, how long will you wait before you're like, he should be back by now? When does that feeling start?
He said, yeah, it should take like 2 to 3 hours, right? Something like that. So I think worry or a little bit of like what's going on starts to set in around 6 to 7 hours afterwards, around like double the time that it should take, because it's like then even if stuff went bad and maybe he should be coming back around now, that's the point where like after that it's like, okay, what the fuck's going on? So that would be the time frame, double the time that he said, a little bit after that time, after double the amount of time allotted.
Okay. All right. Well, that much time has passed, and you were starting to feel worried.
Who knew?
Yeah, go figure, right?
Shit. Okay, Booker probably goes to Nomi. Just like on her door, and
It's open.
Nomi, you heard anything from Jason? It's been a little over double the amount of time that he's expected to be done with this little run. Haven't heard anything. Wondered if you had.
No, I have not heard from him.
That's what I figured. Don't know if it's time to panic just yet for him, but doesn't feel right. Usually my instincts are pretty good. He looks off. Thinks of the grenade.
What is Yancy doing right now?
Is there something we should be doing?
Not quite yet. I don't think I'm ready to start sounding the alarm, but just something I thought you should be aware of. And also, I just wanted to check in.
Have you tried contacting him?
Generally, don't want to unless I really, really need to. I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and then I might try to contact him. Just on the off chance they are monitoring communications.
I'm sure that Jason is fine. He's very capable. I will let you know if he contacts me.
Happy to hear. And I think you're right, too. He's a big guy. Can handle himself. Booker walks out. Cut to Jason. I don't know anything.
Smash. Exactly. I would say smash cut to Jason being waterboarded.
No.
So yeah. So you're like, he's a tough guy. He can handle himself. So Riley, what have you been up to? Because you know that Jason is on this little solo mission. Is there anything that you wanna be pursuing?
No, I don't really
Yeah,
know what
that's
I
okay.
would do
Just,
in that
like,
situation. Yeah.
being worried. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably check like for any like I'm kind of like a if I was closer, if I was on location, I'd probably like hack into their comms and check for any radio chatter to see if they had picked somebody up or
Right.
something like
But you
that.
haven't
But
got
I'm
that
not
order
there.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
just like,
there. So
okay.
I'm just
All right.
twiddling my thumbs.
Thinking about contingency plans, but okay. So yeah, we
Yeah.
do cut to Jason. Now, Jason, you have sort of lost track of time. You've been in the hands of the loyalty brigade for some time. They have been asking you questions about who you work for, who are you, how long have you been on Honglu, what are you what are you doing here, et cetera, et cetera. So they're asking you all kinds of questions about shit. What is your strategy? Are you just telling them everything that you know, or are you
No.
like trying
So
to
I've
hide
come.
it, or
So Jason, also Mark Humes, has kind of made the mistake of I thought that the loyalty brigade and who Boss Ho works for the same people, and now I've realized that's not the case, and I'm a moron.
okay,
And Jason is
so that
also
is
having the same realizations.
that's the realization you've come to. Okay,
And so I'm gonna be like, I don't know. He's gonna play the like. It was a third-party contract. I don't know the details. I'm just a freelancer. I'm a freelancer pilot. That's it. I got a second job. It was a milk run. It was a delivery order. That's all.
okay.
What's the
All right.
problem? And he's like playing that kind of way.
Okay. So make the have you make a roll to see if you can convince them that you don't know any better.
Great.
They don't really like, they're not torturing you, right? It's not
No.
like you're actually getting like beat on or anything, because they don't know that you're
question.
anybody important. Yeah, they're questioning you aggressively. So like, yeah, you're like handcuffed to a table in a room. They took all your stuff. And you've spent several hours being interrogated by a variety of people who yell at you. But let's see if you can convince them that you don't know any better and you're just a
roll.
just a guy. Yeah, make a talk roll with charisma.
Cool. No.
Okay. All right. So we see you alone in this room after being interrogated. They haven't given you any access to the outside world for several hours. Nothing to drink. Like you're feeling a little stressed out. What is Jason? I just need a reaction shot in this moment. Like, what does Jason look like after? Like the guy basically he gets up and he says, "Eventually, we will make you cooperate." And he walks out. We hear the door slam shut. What do we see? What's the reaction when you're alone?
Just eyes closed, and he is just. I'm thinking of the time that like I fucked up with the synth where I almost got shot because Booker couldn't take a shot. He's thinking about falling through the door and on the ground and waking up like having been carried. And I think Jason is just, I have to like, I can't let this get me. I've got to do this. Like I've got to convince that, I've got to tough it out. Like he's just like,
yeah. And now so far these guys have been asking you questions about Boss Ho. About your employer, right? They've been asking about Bukowski. They asked about the ship, but there's no. They haven't implied to you yet that like you're you're noble or anything like that.
He wants to. I still want to complete the job that I came here to do, which is try and get in with them as a pilot. And because I've come to the realization that these guys are different. I now realize that I've got to try and downplay that I don't work for this guy, that I can be loyal, that I'm not going to break and stuff like that. That's what I'm going to try. That's what I want to try and prove.
Okay. All right. So we see you for a moment. We hear the door click shut, and the shot cuts to outside. We see the loyalty brigade officer step out. There are two guys with guns, like standing at attention, and he looks at them like, guard the prisoner, and he walks down the hallway. And we follow him with Steadicam behind him, and we follow him into an office. And his office is like cramped and stained with cigarette smoke. There's a single fan turning lazily on the ceiling. There's a big picture, a print picture of the general that we've seen a bunch. And we see him, and he walks in, and he lights a cigarette, and he puts it in his mouth, and he hits a button on his compad. And after a second, a hologram shows up of your employer, of Miss Bukowski. And in Hong Luan, she says, Well, what did he say? And the officer says, since we brought him in, he's been very tight-lipped, but on the dock, he said everything he knew anyway. And she shakes her head like, so hard to find good help these days. And he says, what do you want us to do with him? And then I say to Mark, make a luck save. Nice. Okay. So she
Natural 20.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So she obviously
Oh my
thinks
God.
about it for a minute. She thinks about it for a minute and she says, I'm feeling merciful. Just let him go. And he nods. And he says, of course. And he presses the button and he walks back out into the hallway and we follow him. We stay, it's all one shot. We follow him out into the hall. The guards come to attention. He opens the door. He walks in, and he says to you, he says, "All right, pilot, you can go." And somebody comes in and throws a like a vacuum sealed pack of all your stuff down on the table. And he says, "But if I were you, I'd stay away from the Vice sector. In fact, you should leave Honglu City while you still can. I think you're going to have a hard time finding work on this planet."
I look up at him. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. And then I'm just gonna sling it under my arm and mopily head out.
Yeah, and as you get escorted out of the like paramilitary facility, one of the guards like shakes his head in Honglu, and he's just like, foreigners don't understand loyalty, and then you basically just get like pushed out into the street with your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And oh, apparently I'm super quiet for some reason.
No, you're okay. You're fine now.
Yeah, I think Jason will kind of, he's pretty down and I'm pretty down,
Mhm.
and he takes a long walk to get back, I think. Like he's
Right. So the end credits music from The Incredible Hulk begins to play, and you just like
Yeah.
slowly walk away, looking down at the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't call your friends to let them know you're safe. You just like you take the
I'll
long sad.
probably I'll ping Booker a message, just say back heading, see you soon.
Okay.
Something like that. Just
Miss
to let
you?
them know I'm alive. No.
Okay.
All right. So we cut back to that then. So Booker, you're worried. You're talking to Nomi. You leave, and then a little while later, the message appears.
Oh, looks like Jason's coming back. Is this like a ping the message like in the comment? Is this a message that he's here or coming back? What was it again?
Coming back. I'm on my way
Yeah,
back.
that he's like.
Yeah, I think Booker's in the comment area. I don't know who's there, but is anyone else there with Booker or no? don't know if he's
Not no me, no.
Okay. All right, then Booker's just waiting in the comment area.
Wait.
All right. So, I mean, I don't think anything happens between when Jason, you get back quite late, because the city is enormous. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
eventually you make your way back, and then you get here, and now everybody's back. And where do you go, Jason? Do you just go back to your room, or are you just like, I'm back, fuck off, don't talk to me?
No, he's not angry. He's just miserable. Like, probably
Okay.
slings into the common room. Like, he's still got his stuff vacuum formed. He probably just throws that on a couch and then just sits down and just kind of like puts his head in his.
Okay.
his
So Riley,
face-
I
his-
think
his
you're
shoulders.
in the common room when Jason comes in, and he's wearing like a like thin plastic like paper jumpsuit, and holding like a plastic sealed bag with all his clothes in them. And he looks like a man who was just let out of jail, and he has the
Mhm.
countenance of a man who was just let out of jail.
Oh,
Looks like he had a
gosh.
bad day. What are you gonna do?
see him, and I just look try to hide my surprise a little bit. And I'm just like, I take it things didn't go as you hoped they would, Jason.
No. Well, the piloting was fine. Flew it up there, no trouble. It was everything that happened afterwards. Basically, I don't know, he looks at Riley, and you just see this tired and all the kind of joyousness, like all the kind of cheerfulness has just gone out of him. It's just like just all the parts that relied on me, and then just turn back down. Just turn back down to the table.
Do you want to talk
Doesn't
about
say
it?
anything else. I'm gonna have to tell Booker later anyway. I'd rather not right now. Sorry.
Well, for what it counts for, Jason, you said the piloting went well. That's because you're an amazing pilot. And it was very brave of you to even take on this task of becoming a master spy, trying to infiltrate some crazy organization. And I think you're pretty cool. So don't get too hard on yourself, okay?
Yeah. Cheers, Riley. Thanks. Just gives a nod.
You did your job. Still a crack pilot.
Yeah.
You're not some kind of crazy serpents who can play mind games and stuff.
Yeah, no. If only, right?
Pan over to Nomi standing in the corner staring at you.
Doing this.
But yeah. No, he just kind of like, yeah, I just look over at Riley, kind of give a smile, but also still remember that Riley wouldn't talk about what happened with Jason in the room, but kind of appreciate the sentiment and just kind of like nod and smile and say like, thanks. I really appreciate that. Who knows? Maybe my piloting will actually come in useful one day. And then I'll just I'm going to go change, grab the vacuum pack, and then go up to my room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, cool. So you head back to your room. So yeah, Booker, you were aware that Jason has returned, but he didn't come to you and tell you about anything. Like, do you go after him, or are you gonna let him have his own time to come and talk to you about what happened?
I think he's gonna give him a little bit of time. Okay. Yeah, but if he doesn't. If he doesn't say anything like before the night's through, like Booker needs to know before the morning so that way he's up to speed.
Yeah, as soon as I'm changed, I'll go and find Booker. It's just I wanted to get out of the prison garb.
Yeah.
That'd be smart.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, unless you're avoiding him, I think that like I want to know who initiates that contact. Like Booker,
Jason,
do you get tired of waiting, or yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah, unless Booker comes and finds me first, but yeah, I'll go change and then afterwards I just go and find Booker.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, Booker's just in his room. Yeah.
Okay. Just knock, Booker. It's me.
Come on in, Jason.
Open the door, step in. And yeah, just kind of like look at him. Officer Greaves.
It didn't go well, did it?
I made contact, managed to get a test run job. Simple milk run, nothing difficult. They flew me up there to transport something up to the moon and back. Met a contact. I've got a name. What was she called? Priscilla Brukowski. She seems to handle sort of the pilot recruitment for Augustus Ho. And got back, and the loyalty brigade were waiting for me, waiting for the ship, asking about papers I didn't have. Had two guys with assault rifles, and it just went. Everything that she'd said, who they were, who Ho works for, just all vanished. Blurted names I shouldn't done. They carted me off. I figure it's all a test. I figure it was them checking to see if I said anything, and in a moment of complete fucking stupidity, I did exactly what I wasn't supposed to. Piloting was fine. Didn't have any problems there. Could have flown that thing could have probably beaten those Aquila idiots back on the Prudence with it, but as soon as it came down to me, I fucked it. I'm sorry, Booker.
I'm starting to think when we get back to the ship, we're going to have to take some courses on this squad to deal with being undercover.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
you look on the bright side. You're alive. If it were me, I would have killed you.
yeah. 3 times the charm, I guess.
I'm not exactly sure why they cut you loose.
I don't know. Maybe they felt sorry for me. I probably looked pretty pathetic. I mean, I didn't say anything else. As soon as I realized what was going on, I shut my mouth. Didn't give them anything. I would have. They didn't do any. They didn't try and torture me or beat me up or anything like that. But even if they had, I reckon I could have lasted a while. But
Well,
yeah,
I can't say that I'm happy. Seems like nothing's really going right now for us. Any of us, really.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting worse. At least we have some intel on us still. Still have the leverage card to play on them. But if that one goes, I'm not exactly sure where that leaves us.
Yeah.
Next time, just think, Jason, if it was the Loyalty Brigade, with no one on the payroll, you shouldn't have said anything. And if it was them, and they're on the payroll, you still shouldn't have said anything.
I know. It was a moment of panic.
It happens.
Listen, I should probably, if we do anything in that district again, I should stay away. They're going to know my face. I'm sure I can find another way to help, but
that is another thing we have to deal with now, but
yeah,
we'll deal with it.
Listen, can you tell Ceres what happened, and Holtzman and the rest? I kind of just want to sit down for a bit, if you don't mind. It's been a long day.
Sure thing. You seen Ramirez at all when you came in?
No, they're not around.
I don't know is the thing, and that's strange. Either Ramirez is just holed up in their quarters, or I've been in and out of these halls to the common area. Usually you see him down there getting something, bite to eat, watch whatever shitty things on there, another rebroadcast. It's odd. I don't know. I was just thinking if you've seen him.
No, ask Holtzman. If anybody's going to know where Ramirez is, it'll be him.
I may just do that.
All right. Thanks, Booker. And I'm sorry again. I know I keep saying that a lot, but yeah, maybe one day I won't fuck things up. And then Jason just leaves.
Listen, before you leave, you're a pilot. You're not exactly trained for this. They give you the base level of training. We're kind of thrown into the water here and expected to swim.
Yeah.
We'll do better next time.
Yeah, thanks. Head out.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, barring that approach to infiltrate August Ho's criminal organization, what's the alternate angle? So
confront Boss O.
This is the next day. This is the 8th of January.
How many days have we been here?
3, 4.
Okay.
Maybe a little more. Pushing a week.
We could always follow our lead about where he stores his contraband, because maybe from there we could figure out if he does have this Pixis where he has him stashed. Or if he has him stashed someplace in the port. It's a possibility.
Has there been any communication, Adam, from our ship?
No. The Prudence is still occupied in orbit around Tootham.
Bastards. I always I forget that Ramirez is also a woman.
Yes, yeah, Ramirez is a lady.
That and saying Barnes earlier. I've crapped up some things, but whatever.
Okay. Look at Booker's old now, so.
What's that?
I said Booker's an old man. It's fine.
I mean, this planet and experience is aging him a lot.
That's right. Being a PC takes it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Booker's idea and next plan, just to put it out there, is to try to make some sort of contact with Boss Ho. We could check out the smuggling depot that he has it at, his storage facility. But the only play they really have left in his mind that he's already thought of is using the leverage of, ratting him out to his boss to be like, is it worth it for your whole entire smuggling operation to crumble apart, or just tell us what we need to know? So that's the play. But right now, Booker is a little concerned about where Ramirez is because he hasn't seen her in a bit. He might just like walk around a little bit, maybe knock on Ramirez's door.
Okay, yeah. So there's like you knock on the door and there's no answer. And I think you hear a door across the hall open, and you see Holtzman. And he's like been reading a book or something. He's holding one of those transparent data pads, and you can see like a bunch of text on his side. And he looks up and he says, "Something you can? Do you need help, officer?"
Yeah, sorry if the knocking was disturbing you. You seen Ramirez at all? I haven't seen her in a little while. Been in and out a bit in the halls, and I don't know. Given recent events,
Officer
I'd like to
Ibanez.
know.
Her and Officer Ibanez left a little while ago. Said they were going to some bar. I don't know. I wasn't invited.
Some bar. They didn't say where they were going?
No, sir. I figured they would have cleared it with you.
Nobody spoke to me.
That makes two of us, sir.
Booker kind of like I'm going to roll an insight too, just to see if he knows.
Yeah, you're trying to see if he's what his deal is. Okay, focus your inner psychic powers here. Yeah, make notice roll with wisdom.
Notice, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. Not so great.
No, I mean he just seems like a little dejected, but he's trying to put on a brave face.
Why didn't I go?
Yeah.
Come join me, Holtzman. Join me in the sad club.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
he's just kind of like,
Appreciate the
invite
info.
me.
Well, lack thereof, but seems like we're both in the same spot here. Let me know if you hear anything,
Sir,
okay?
He's like, sir, permission to speak freely.
Yeah.
It feels a little like we're spinning our wheels here, sir. Like, I mean, shouldn't we be out there looking for this noble? I mean, I just think about if it was somebody I was related to. I've got brothers and sisters, sir, and if one of them got kidnapped, well, I would hope that they would know that I'd be out there looking for him. This Pixis guy, he's got a fiance, right, and a family. So I don't know. I mean, this place is threatening enough on the outside. It makes me uneasy knowing he might be getting tortured or something.
Well, if you're worried about him getting tortured, I wouldn't be too worried about that. They don't want to hurt their pretty prize. That's how it is. You damage the goods, it's not going to go well for them, and they know that. And as far as us just spinning our wheels here, I agree, and I'm just as frustrated as you are. But we can't just go out there guns blazing and start asking people, where's the Pixis? Won't go well. We try to play it smart. Some leads turn up, better intel, some don't. The more information we have before we make a move, the better.
Of course, sir. I mean, right. Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Anything else?
No, sir.
We'll get through this. I know it's frustrating, one way or another. Let me know if you hear anything from Ramirez.
Yes, sir. Of course.
And then Booker just walks away, goes back to his room.
Okay. All right. So what's the next as a group? What's the next thing? What do y'all want to do to continue your mission?
Well,
and we can discuss this out of character too and in character, like what feels like the next right thing to do.
I mean, we really only have like the one lead anymore, right? With
Bosso is still your main guy. So it's a question of how you want to get at him.
Get at him, yeah. Which seems to be the blackmail stuff seems to be the main one.
Mhm.
I just don't feel like blackmailing a crime lord is a good idea.
I kind of
But-
wanted to go the hands-off approach with this, where we don't even talk to him, because if we can figure out whatever safe house he has this dude stashed at, we can pick up the dude, take
that's
out
the thing.
whatever armed guard he has, and leave. And Boss Ho doesn't know who did it, as opposed to us trying to like broker a deal with him, because these.
Well, the thing, Booker's contact just said that Boss Ho was. I don't know. I don't think it's ever been said that Boss Ho has the kid. Just that
No, yeah,
he
Boss
is a point of
Ho.
contact.
So yeah, Boss Ho doesn't have any reason. Well, I mean, okay, money, but like, you don't get the impression that he is responsible for like a kidnapping ring. That stuff tends to be happening sort of space lanes by pirates. Boss Ho knows a lot of people that come in and out and has been dealing with pirates. So if there is a pirate who has this Pixis on the planet or who came through here, Boss Ho would be the guy to talk to about that, because he can point you in the right
Yeah.
direction.
For some reason,
why I
my
think-
brain just jumped to the conclusion that he was smuggling people. Don't
Right.
ask me why.
No,
Yeah, I
just
mean,
milk.
Like,
Yes,
that was like my
Jesus.
immediate
Just-
thought. It was like, he's smuggling people. This is a human trafficker. I don't know why, but you're right. It was never explicitly stated that he's a people
Yeah.
smuggler.
So maybe we can just like straight up talk to him as like the murderers.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that?
I guess the ploy would be like, I mean, I don't even know, because why would he care? We'd have to just give him money.
Well, that's why we've got the
We're
blackmail.
not like,
right?
hey, we're a
if
merc
we
group.
have to.
We
Yeah.
want him.
We're
Well,
we're
maybe we could-
mercenaries, right? Like we have a contract to recover this person or to kill this
Yeah.
person or whatever.
Yeah, it could be to recover it. We'd have to just discern whether or not it's like, oh, we need him because he's fucked up, and another thing, we need to kill him. Like that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Or we're like hired mercs to,
What is
to get
the-
him back.
What is the blackmail that you said that we have against Boss Ho?
Was that his
The fact-
he's smuggling under his boss's nose? Yeah.
Yeah,
Proxy
like his
She-
boss above him would
yeah.
shut that shit down
Okay.
real quick.
She's getting cut. She's getting cut out of the deal. He's making money that she doesn't see any part of,
Yeah.
on top of his normal business.
The other angle that we could maybe go at it is like we could try and tell him that like if he knows the people that have got this kid, that's going to be trouble for him. Like, if we're playing up the mercenary angle, maybe we could kind of say like, look, if Crux or whoever get word of this, they might send some people down to try and find him and kind of play that kind of bluff, right? Like they might send people to come
Right.
after him. That's going to bring people to your doorstep. That could lead to trouble. That could disrupt your business. Tell us who's got him. We'll get him out, and then you're no more problems.
Could even just straight up say,
So-
the Empire isn't going to take this lightly. Like,
Yeah,
But I
that's
mean,
what I
gonna
mean,
the
send shit.
Empire doesn't have a lot of power here, so maybe he doesn't even give a shit about that threat.
But if
They'd
it's
have to bring
disrupting his
down an
business, yeah, maybe
Yeah,
they
but
would.
like the Empire would have to bring down an army to like
But they could.
like he would know that
They could.
threat.
They could though.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like
they
he's the
could.
fiance. He's the fiance of like a matriarch of one of the like
Right.
noble houses. Like they might send
just
like a
feel like-
fuckload of people.
Or
I
like
just
they
feel
may send like
all
a
that
house-
bluff.
super squad.
Yeah,
like
House Vela could like send ships. The Houses Minor could get behind it to be like, if you kidnap one of us, you kidnap all of us. There could be a plan passed amongst the nobility that like, listen, the Honglu situation's gotten out of control. We need to go and reclaim Honglu. That could happen, and he could be in
Mhm.
part in fault of that. Kidnapping is a dangerous business because you hope that the individual houses don't get so pissed that they get all of their other friends to like join in.
Yeah.
But all it
Yeah.
takes is like
Yeah.
the straw, right?
And the other thing as well is,
dead
like,
camel.
Boss Ho doesn't know if this kid's that important or not. Maybe he doesn't know exactly how influential the finance the fiance's family is. But also, like, I imagine that like whilst Honglu's like a criminal city, like if they sent like a super elite murder squad that's not us because we're like investigators, if they sent like
Yes.
a super good squad, even
Hey, come
somebody
on
like
now.
Boss Ho that can
Hey.
fuck up stuff. What? What?
I mean, we're doing stuff.
We do stuff, yeah.
We're out here.
Sorry, I can only talk for myself.
Yeah, I think we could
But
just.
yeah.
I vote for just like talking to him and like trying to bluff that like we just start trying to recover him before the like actual noble houses swoop in and like institute
Cause
some kind of
trouble.
blockade or something that's going to prevent him
Yeah.
from actually
We
being
can-
able to do
We
his
can
work.
even say that, we were contracted, third party, anonymous. It's probably the Empire, and then go into the whole listen,
So
we're trying to get this guy out of here. Like, it's
if you
and
wanted
then
to go
mention
that
the business.
angle, just like in universe stuff, if you want to go that angle, yeah, like an individual, like it would be one thing to land a cadre of House Ocula space marines on the planet to solve this problem. That would be much more complicated and difficult and would require governmental permission. But there's this thing, there's the Deathless, which is a mercenary company that you could hire a group of to be like, go get my kid back, and you could pretend to be them. That's a pretty believable lie. If that's the angle, if you want to be like, yo, we're from the Deathless, give us the kid, threatening shotgun pump, right? So that's something that your characters would know as a potential
I don't-
angle.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to, if you're gonna, especially if we're gonna threaten violence, we need to be able to actually follow up on it, which we can't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
want to do
I
that.
think this guy seems like a businessman, and if we appeal to
Yeah.
him like a businessman with the idea of this is going to cause you trouble, all you have
Right.
to do is tell us who's got him. We'll get him. We'll deal with the situation for you. Like, we're doing you a favor by taking care of this kid.
Yeah.
It's going to kick up a hell of a lot more hornets in this nest if you don't, kind of deal.
Yeah. I think that's the play here.
All right.
Okay.
I agree. And I RP it as, hey guys, I've got a great idea.
And this is perfect. So this is why
Wow.
it's totally
What an
we're
idea.
playing a game together. So it's okay to step back and be like, all right, let's talk about this out of character. Okay. So how do we express this in character? And what do we
It's
do?
bullshit, and it's not how my group plays at home.
Listen, this is your immersion. I have it here in my hands. I don't care about your immersion, Max. Come on, throwing it away. Okay, cool. So, having discussed that as players and co-navigators of this narrative, let's so what in the moment you're all gathered and it's been several days. Yancey and Ramirez are off doing something. And Booker, you realize it's time to act. So what do you put forward to the team that you're gonna do? What is your orders?
Yeah. Gathers them around. Well, did you say that they had come back or no? Or Ramirez
No,
and
they're
they
just
haven't?
they're just
Fucked
gone.
up.
Yeah, you haven't heard from them. They're
So before
yeah,
this
they
meeting
went out to a
happens,
bar.
Booker would have gone to know me just to
Okay.
see what her read is, because she's got a better read into people and things like that.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just assume we're talking in probably her quarters.
Okay, so the two of you are.
Nomi, wanted to speak to you. Got a moment?
Yes, Officer Greaves.
You seen Ramirez or Ibanez? Either of them?
I have not. No.
Also, quickly, Adam, how much time has passed since since the last time I inquired to Holtzman? Is it just the following morning?
couple
or
days.
is that
It's about 12 hours.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
still pretty.
So was it like the
abnormal.
next day or?
Yeah, they've been since Nomi sent them off. And Nomi, you're the only one with an accurate read on how long they've been gone. It's been more than a full day. It's been
Okay.
30 hours or so.
Pretty odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not at all. Didn't see them feel their presence leave. Anything? Can you even do that, actually?
I kind of smile, and I don't answer that question, but I say,
Right, you
Mhm.
wouldn't.
when I last talked to Holtzman, he mentioned that they were going out to celebrate something. I'm not sure. He mentioned them going to a bar and that he wasn't invited, and he seemed pretty upset about that. I gather that it is important for him to be liked.
What's Nomi's demeanor right now? And that's your
She's same as always, very placid.
playing it cool.
Yeah.
That didn't strike you as
You can
odd?
if you want to roll against me to tell if you can tell if Nomi's lying, you can do that. I assume.
It's not
I
quite
don't
there
know.
yet.
Mhm.
Okay.
Booker's starting to his
Right,
suspicions
yeah.
starting to get
You
a
let me
little
know.
aroused.
You let me know when you're ready to go to that place. But until then,
PvP. That-
Right now he's just, right now he's just conferring with his advisor.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
There's no reason to distrust me.
I mean, this is a tale as old as time for House Crux and House Serpents, right? Like that idea of like as long as you can trust your serpents, they're very, very useful to turn against your enemies. But as soon as you start being like, wait, if they can lie to them with their psychic powers, they could lie to me, and that's how you end
Wow.
up dead in a
It
ditch of
never.
mysterious circumstances. You suddenly realize you're allergic to lasers in the back. But for now, we haven't quite got there yet.
That seems a little odd. I don't know why they would check in. I know Yancey wouldn't, but Ramirez knows better. And I don't know about celebrating for what's it been now? He like looks at his 30 some odd hours. Something doesn't add up.
Yes, they have been gone quite some time. Should we go looking for them? Or do you think that we should focus on our mission, trusting that they will probably be able to take care of themselves?
Well, the thing is, now we're short-handed. I wanted to start moving.
Perhaps it is
much
better
as
for us to talk to Boss Ho with not quite so many people in our party, so that we don't appear as though we're trying to intimidate him.
I don't like leaving Yancey on his own for an extended period of time. I mean, Ibanez is with him, but who the hell knows what is going on right now? For all we know, our cover could already be blown.
Officer Ibanez has before chosen to go off on his own, and he did return as necessary. I'm sure that he wouldn't want to miss his ship off of this planet. He seems to detest it. And also, I might remind you that when he was worried that his cover might be blown, he did decide to shoot someone in the back of the head so that his cover wouldn't be blown. So I don't think that we have to worry about him giving up any information.
Nomi. And he blew up innocent people living in a domicile. Did you forget that part?
Did we ever confirm how many people did people actually
No.
die? Because they did pull the alarm before they.
Yeah.
left.
I mean, you've been keeping a pretty close eye on that stuff, so it's possible that you would just know.
Also, I think Riley kind of inferred that it wasn't just like, yep, we just killed him and that's it. It's like an explosion.
Yeah,
went
it
off.
would have been reported as it would have been
but
reported as
we don't know
as
if
an
it killed
explosion.
anyone.
Yeah,
Can I
because you don't know.
no roll if I know if they killed if anyone actually died?
Yeah,
besides
because
the
you've
journalist?
been keeping an eye on that stuff. So yeah, make a no roll.
Okay.
With intelligence.
2. Okay.
Yeah,
So I don't know
You
anything.
didn't see.
Great.
Yeah, it either got
Okay.
covered up or didn't show up in the news. Yeah.
Okay. So then in character, when I spoke with Officer Ibanez, he made it clear that they did actually set off the alarm before they left. It's possible that no one actually died who is innocent in this scenario. There have been no confirmed reports.
I'm gonna roll on no, and see if I
Yeah.
can counter that.
Okay.
-1 with intelligence, but whatever.
That's what mine was. Yeah.
What
Okay,
do I
no,
know?
Same thing. No.
Yeah.
No, neither of you saw anything in the news about it.
I know the type of grenade he probably let off, or explosive device. Highly likely people died. My point is, I don't want undue attention. And I gotta be honest, Nomi, it's a little strange that you're not more concerned.
Oh, I am concerned. It's possible that my demeanor just doesn't suggest my emotions. That's very common with serpents.
When she says that, all sorts of alarms are firing off in Booker's mind. Like, this is fucked. This is weird.
Seriously, man, I'm totally freaking out right now. Don't worry about it. I'm having an appropriate emotional response. You just can't see it.
Trust
I
me.
mean,
It's too
here's the thing.
It's too small
That's
for you.
totally
It's true though. You're not wrong. Yes.
Yeah, every time you've talked to me, I've never had any kind of
You're not wrong.
emotional
What Booker
freak
is why things are firing off alarm wise and red flag wise for Booker is because you've kind of taken this tonal shift against Ibanez, or sorry,
in
Ibanez.
support of him. Yeah.
In support of him. All of a sudden, like, this is very strange, and he's kind of like, all right, this is a little odd. That combined with the fact that they've been missing, and protocol.
I mean, I was never
dictates,
super against him in the past. I don't think. But
Well, I'm
So
rolling
the
against
idea here
anyways.
is so like Nomi, you and Booker are in a situation where you both seem to want like different stuff. Let's talk about that as players. So Nomi, out of this conversation, what do you want? If we're gonna go to a roll and you win, what would you get?
I just want him to
Like let it go.
yeah, like let it go and just focus on the mission, like the boss ho part of the mission, and just be like, fuck it, Yancey's off somewhere doing something. Who cares? Just off
Mhm.
doing Yancey stuff.
Yep. Okay. And Booker, I know that like obviously you as a player, Max, you know what's going on.
Right.
Booker wants you want to get a read on Nomi to
Get a
see if
read
she's
on
like
if she's
keeping
being
something from you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because he needs to be able to trust his advisor. And like, even though she's been slightly odd, whatever, in
Okay.
different this is still just
right,
something you
so-
should check into.
So Nomi, roll a talk roll with charisma, and then Booker roll a notice roll with wisdom, and
Okay.
Talk roll
we'll see
with-
where we land.
So when do I roll a lead?
Lead is when you are giving people orders. So when you're telling them what to do.
Okay, cool.
From a
I
command.
just wasn't sure what the
perspective.
difference was between talk and lead.
Yeah, talk
Okay,
is
so-
like convincing someone. Lead is like this is the best. It also tactically you can use it to organize like combat, where you can like give people benefits to the way they're fighting. But it's very much like built on hierarchy rather than on personality.
I didn't roll very good.
So you,
I didn't roll amazing, but it was better.
You rolled an 8, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So you're both kind of like mid ground. So you both kind of get what you want. So let's talk about what that looks like. So Booker, I think this and I'm don't take this to be canon. We're gonna negotiate this. So I think that what happens is that Booker, you get the impression that Nomi knows more than she's letting on. And Nomi, so you don't get to hide, like Booker doesn't let it go. But I don't think Booker, I don't think that you it's not suspicious. It's not gonna turn
Right.
you against Nomi. It's like
Right.
Nomi's got her own thing going on. You don't have to let it go because you got an 8 and she got a 6. But it's not immediately like, oh, she's responsible, something bad is happening. And Nomi, you see this coming, right? You're like, okay, Booker's not actually gonna let this go. You're gonna need to give him like something, but not everything. Because Max didn't get. If Max had got a 10 plus, I would just be like, "Yo, it's clear. Nomi's lying to you. She's
Yeah, Booker right
she
now is
knows.
kind of just
Right.
like a little something's
Yeah.
a little you holding back something, yeah, for sure. That's on his face. He's just kind of giving you like
Okay.
a look right now, like with a pause, just to see. This is one of tried and true. Let him sweat it out. And he knows
Yeah.
that's probably difficult with a serpent.
So I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Okay.
My diplomat skill says that I can reroll 1s on any skill check dice related to negotiation or diplomacy. Does this count as negotiation or diplomacy?
It does not. No, because this is just like being shady and lying. This is more personal than diplomacy. Yeah.
Okay.
But good
Cool.
question.
So if I were like trying
Important
to
check.
strike a deal with him or something like that.
Yes, exactly. If you're like, listen, here's how it is. You do this, and like if you were negotiating more directly, yeah, that's what.
Okay. Cool. So you said that I like kind of have to give him something.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't
the
know what
idea,
would like.
you're not, you don't lose control. It's not like you're like at his complete mercy. It's about you see him like
Down.
doing the voracious dog thing where he bites onto this suspicion and he will not let it go. And if you try to pull away, he's gonna just pull harder. So you know the way to approach him is to kind of just like let him have something so that he'll back off.
Right. But like I'm saying that I don't know what part of everything I can give him that will be something, because if I say like he's working on something for me, then like obviously he's going to be like, okay, well, what is he working on? Right. Like there's follow-up questions that happen. So I don't know how to like give him.
This is what happens. You get caught in a lie. You make another lie
right
to cover up for it. And then eventually you just bury Booker in lies until he suffocates. That's how it works.
And me as a player, I really didn't want to just like, obviously, like you said, I know that something's up, but it's also as a player for Booker, like the character, it's weird for 2 of his officers to be gone for 38 hours with no contact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know how to proceed with this. I don't know how to like tell him something without having to tell him everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's the trick. You feel that sense of like, oh shit, like he's not gonna let this go. Yeah. So
Do I
really
actually have
start
to tell
tension.
him something that is like accurate to what's going on, or can I just like tell him
No.
something to make him like?
You can lie to him again. Yeah. But it becomes like a direct lie, right? Or you can find something to tell him. But yeah, you basically just have to give him some information so he'll back off.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like Max, if you want to, because again, like we're playing our characters here. If you want to tell Anne something that Nomi could say, that's something you could do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think right now too.
You two have worked together before, right? Like, what would I guess that's the
Yeah.
question, right? Is like Nomi. So let's have you. How about that? So Nomi, you feel a moment of weakness where you're like, oh shit, he's not gonna let go. Do you want to try to read him, like get an idea of like, okay, what could I say? Because that's an opportunity you could have to ask.
Could I
Yeah.
do a
Ask Max
suggestion
about.
as well? If Anne, you
Yeah,
want a
please.
suggestion of something you could say?
Sure.
Is that
Sure.
okay? Like maybe you could go with something along the lines of like, because he wants to know where like Yancey and Ramirez are, and Booker seems to have picked up on the thing of like you're now suddenly defending him. Could you kind of leverage the role of you trying to like be a counselor and kind of like guide it and kind of say, well, Yancey didn't want me to tell you, he asked me to keep it private, and then go with a lie that way, like that's why you were kind of keeping information from Booker and say like, yeah, he mentioned something, but he asked me not to tell you. That kind of play. That could be something. I don't know what that could be, but
Or
that
from
kind of like
my perspective as a player, you could
Oh, I
literally.
have an idea. I
Okay.
have an idea. Okay, I just figured
Cool.
it out. Sorry, I was
Alright.
just
Right,
trying. That
so-
what Jason said gave me or what?
So we cut back into the moment. The two of them looking at themselves. I think the last thing you said was, "Don't judge my emotions by the way that I speak or the way that I look. This is a common thing." So
Yes. I kind of like. He can't tell that I'm faking this, but I'm like pretending to be like giving in, you know. So I kind of like look down at the ground and I sigh a little bit and I say, "I'm sorry, Officer Greaves. I must confess, I sent Ramirez and Jason off because I'm concerned about Officer Ibanez's place on this crew." Yeah, sorry, I meant I was looking at your name and I said Jason said.
That's cool.
I was hoping that perhaps with some time away from the crew, because of the tensions, that Ramirez could help guide Yancy back into shape. She seems to have a level head on her shoulders, and I thought that perhaps that would be good for Officer Ibanez. He seems to be a competent officer. He has obviously many problems, as we've discussed, but I'm hoping that she can help whip him back into shape. And I should have discussed this with you beforehand. I know that now, and I apologize for undermining you.
You're absolutely right. You should have discussed that with me. This has to be a two-way street, Nomi. I trust you, you trust me. That's with information and decisions.
I kind of just like nod a little bit, and I don't really say anything.
Well, how long are they supposed to be gone?
I'm not sure. I gave Ramirez 3 days. It's only been a day and a half, so perhaps we'll hear from them soon.
I just hope you're right about Ramirez. She does have a good head on her shoulders, but Yancey, he's a wild card. I can deal with just an asshole, a dickhead officer. That's fine. But he's proven to be something completely different. And that doesn't just endanger myself and you, it endangers everybody in the mission. That's why I get so fired up, and I've made some mistakes with that. And I've owned up to them, I feel like. Sure, I'm the leader, but you know what? I'm fallible as well. And I trust in you to rein me in when I need it. Just like it works this way, for me to rein you in when you breach protocol.
Yes, Officer Greaves, I understand. And I'm glad that you see that having one level-headed person rein in another can often be beneficial. Hopefully Ramirez and Yancey will behave the same way.
I can only hope you're right. Is that it?
That's all?
All right then. We'll reconvene in the Commons in about an hour.
I give him a bow as he walks out.
Booker like walks out the door and just like stops for a second, like just kind of like hesitates, like the hell was that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I think what's interesting about this is that the end of the sort of end of this is like Nomi, you know, not to underestimate Booker's tenacity and the fact that he is like a little on edge about this stuff. And Booker, the seed of like Nomi's more. This is another tick on that. Like, yeah, Nomi is actually like a very together, like well handled. Like she knows what she's doing, and you don't want to be on her bad side. So kind of both of you are like, okay, we gotta play this game a little more carefully.
Satisfied with what just was said, but knows not to. It's not worth it to push it further.
Perfect, and that's exactly where that 8 should land us, right? Okay, great. So I guess then the next bit is everybody getting together. That like we'll meet you in an hour in the thing. So yeah, so everybody minus Ramirez and Yancey are assembled in the meeting room. What's happening?
Jason's just gonna be sat at the table, just kind of sort of
Jason's
like
gonna be sad at the table. Oh, Jason.
Yep. Okay. Still sad.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Are you looking like, oh, I'm a failure, this sucks, or have you got your shit together yet?
He's kind of got his shit together, but there's definitely that cheerfulness has gone out of him. Like he doesn't really. He kind of just is being a bit more somber than before. He's not like moping, but he's definitely that kind of camaraderie is gone.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Unusually kind of like focused. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Holtzman is there looking like ready to act, but like unusually out of place without the other 2 like red shirts with him. He's just kind of like,
that's got to be having an effect, I'm sure.
Cool. Yep. He didn't get to go on the secret mission that he doesn't know about. For him, they went to the bar and then disappeared. And Riley, it looks like it's time for action. But hey, your friend Yancey's not around, so that's good. Ramirez also isn't.
Which sucks.
Yeah,
I like her.
So, Booker, what do you say? Are you going to explain their absence, or are you just kind of going to go right into?
I think Booker leads, like, comes down, is like, morning, let's grab some coffee, whatever, the shitty whatever machine they have there. Doesn't say anything, comes back to the table.
All right. Let's address the elephant in the room. Nomi will get you up to speed on what's going on with Ibanez and Ramirez.
And he just like looks right at Nomi expectantly, like, tell him.
Yeah, please. Okay.
Not even saying what to tell. Just like, how are you going to handle this?
Yeah, do you address them, Nomi, or you just like let it?
Oh, I didn't even notice anyone said anything to me. We just were all standing here, and that's it.
Yeah, Booker said you were going to explain everything.
Booker literally got coffee, didn't say anything, sat down
that
at
was
the
Max
table.
saying that.
Yeah, he let you.
No, this is me. This is Max.
Okay.
This is Booker.
Yeah.
That was weird. He's old, kind of sounds like he's from Canada.
Okay.
That's what we sound like.
Everyone.
All
right. So here's the idea. Boss Ho is a businessman. He wants to preserve his interests, and I think the best way of going about that is by trying to help him understand that we are working for his best interests. Perhaps we can convince him that not giving us the information about Erickson Mohammed will lead to some unnecessary quarantines of Honglu by the Empire, thus making it hard for him to follow up on any of his current contracts, making it hard for him to make money. Money is what is most important to him, of course. So I think that it's best for us to go in, be reasonable, and try to avoid violence at all cost. I look at Holtzman, and I say, Holtzman.
Ma'am?
Officer Ibanez and Ramirez were sent off on a mission that I felt only the 2 of them needed to attend to. I've already discussed this with Officer Greaves, and I point to him. And I say, I felt that it was important for you to remain with us because we need you and your expertise.
He nods and he says, "Yes, ma'am. Of course, ma'am." But you sense just like the slightest hint of disappointment in his voice, like, "Oh, I wasn't cool enough for this special mission."
Do we all
He's
pick
going
up on
for
that?
this mission. This is a better
No.
mission.
Only
'Cause
only
we're
know
here.
me.
Just know me. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Stupid.
but he
I was
doesn't know.
trying to
It's
reassure him.
a secret mission. Secret missions are always better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one he gets to talk to the
I-
fucking boss, dude.
I'll look up at everyone and say, like, well, one problem is I'm not going to be able to go anywhere near him after I botch things. I'll have to stay nearby. Maybe I can get us a car or something in case we need to make a quick getaway or something like that. But I won't be able to go anywhere near Boss Ho or his group, I imagine.
Yeah, I think,
So-
given that, Jason, your role is probably going to have to be in extraction. Things do, for some reason, go south. Let's all hope they don't. We might have to call on you for a hot extract.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get to be
Sounds-
baby driver. You're sitting out in the fucking parking lot ready to rip it. Yeah.
Sounds good. One thing I can say is, like, I mean, considering they tested me on a basic run out to the moon, this Boss Ho's definitely going to have a lot of stuff. They said that they were pretty desperate for pilots right now. And they want to expand. It seems like he's really pushing the envelope on this. So pushing the business angle, I think, like, yeah,
Sounds
I think
good.
that's a good play to do it. Like, it sounds like he's quite keen on, amping up his business ventures. So maybe this will be a genuine threat to him. I'll see if I can find us a decent speeder. I might either have to steal it or rent it or something, but I'm sure we can figure something out.
And
Or
the
would you
fact that
prefer
they
book?
tested you
Yeah,
lets us know they're paranoid, which is always a good trait. Hopefully, let's hope that they're just a little too paranoid. Drive them a little bit more to be cooperative with our dealing with them.
sure.
All right, then.
Okay.
Unless there's any questions. Booker looks at Riley.
Perhaps it would be
Anybody else?
good for Riley to fake some documents or some other communications. We could claim that we intercepted some interplanetary communications from the Empire that suggest some kind of blockade or other action that the Empire would be taking against Hong Lu to encourage Boss Ho to work with us.
That sounds like a good idea. Riley, you think you could whip something like that up?
I can try.
It needs to be fail-proof. I'm sure that he'll have someone who can look into its authenticity.
It's not my specialty. I'll see what I can do.
Adam could it's a little risky, but like if there's like a
Is
signature
it as
for,
risky? Is it as risky as meeting a stranger and breaking their arm immediately?
maybe not that
Risky?
risky.
Less risky?
He just
Okay,
Booker's
alright.
thinking like you'd have to. This is a little bit I have to ask you. Like Booker's basically thinking, what if he, obviously we're part of Crux in the Empire.
Yes.
If Booker has some sort of like official signature that could be used, that would go through the system and they'd be like, oh, this order was sent by Officer Greaves or something like that.
Yes.
something in that
Yeah.
regard. Like, a little bit of truth in
Every
there.
noble. Yeah. Every noble in the Empire is given at birth a like bio-encoded, like essentially a signet ring. That's not a physical object, but it's built to your bio-encoding. You can check it against the Imperial database, and it's used to say like, yes, this is an official document as signed by Booker Greaves of House Crux, etc. That lays out your lineage and your
Yeah.
family, so that people can know that it is for real as you. Yeah,
Probably not a
It's
good
like a
idea then.
signet
I
ring.
think about it because that'll bring a visual of Booker if they double check it. Not a good
Yes,
idea.
yeah, it's a way to strip away all of the other shit and be like, yes, I am who I say I am. They're very, very difficult to forge, which is why it was relatively easy to murder all the House Cygnus, because you could tell who they are by biochecking against this database. Crux uses the database to hunt down and punish criminals. Every house has various reasons for it. Serpens uses it to find psychics, etc., etc. So this thing exists and is maintained by maintained by Crux, but accessed by all the rest of the houses. Prism probably built it way back in the day.
Yeah, then I guess Booker will just leave it at that. As like, if it's possible for Riley to forge
at
something
any
this.
time, any of you who are nobles can prove your you can prove your nobility, you can prove your name. No one will ever be like, you're not actually, Booker Greaves. You can just be like, yes, I am. Scan the thing.
Mm-hmm.
How long, Riley, do you think it would take to set something like that up?
Probably not long, but I don't know how waterproof it's going to be.
Well, we need at least some bit of credibility, I feel like, than just walking up and being, hey, give us this Pixis. That doesn't, I don't know how well
I
they're
mean,
going to...
here's the way mechanically that'll work. You tell me what you want. You tell me what you want to have these documents say, and then I will tell you how difficult it's going to be. You make a roll, and then you do the thing. Actually, I probably won't tell you how difficult it is because I don't want you to know how airtight your documents are. But I'll decide, and then we'll do the thing. So yeah, I guess that's the question is like, what do you want to have documentation say who you are? Like, what does the fake ID say?
I don't know if it's. I don't know when Jason said it. I think Jason said it. I don't know when, or if we wanted it to be something that's like, this is who we are. I think it's more we intercepted a documentation or like, communique from the Empire saying like, hey,
Okay.
we're about to spin up on this because this is going to be a problem. Like,
okay. So you're there with like intercepted intelligence saying that there is like
saying like, hey, what we're saying right now about this being escalated eventually, if you don't cooperate with us and it's in your best interest to get the guy out.
You crossed
Like,
the
the
wrong
Empire's
person,
yeah.
and okay.
They're not going to stop digging until something resolves itself, and that'll affect you, kind of deal.
So you're asking Riley to forge up some documents that look like official, like naval communications between the members of the houses major and the houses minor, the council, basically signing off on like, if we don't get this guy back, we're gonna go and nuke the shit out of these people, and like Boss Ho is responsible or like is on a name on a list, right? That's the plan.
Yeah. We could do that because he's a smuggler, so he's a potential, they'd come for him kind of deal.
They've got intelligence, to indicate he's
and it would
involved.
totally be feasible that the Empire has intelligence on a guy, but they don't know exactly like he's smuggling milk. Like he's a smuggler on the planet. He's a part of the list.
Okay.
A part of the planet, part of the list. That's what I say.
So, Riley, do you have any additional caveats or adjustments that you want to make when you do the work?
I feel like this roll is going to be super hard.
I feel like you should get an advantage though if I'm lawyering because you see these communiques probably all the time being a part of a Crux ship.
I would allow for a help roll from Booker for sure.
Yeah.
Right? If he's giving you like some guidance.
Okay.
What do I roll to help? Or does she
I mean, like these orders are going to be signed by someone though, right? And we've already established that like the biosignature is like almost impossible to replicate.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want him to scan that, right? You wouldn't want him to like, oh, let me verify this in my machine. But also remember, this planet is like
a backwater.
It's not even that. It's like this planet is like Saigon 1969, right? Like it's
right.
You're not connected to the global network in the way you once were. They've got some
they're
bad
scanning,
data too. So
yeah, and the whole thing of the whole point of this document is like if they scan it, then it's or like we fucked it anyway. Like this needs to just be this is lending credence to what the guys are saying. Yeah.
All right.
Just selling the story.
Well, we have orders, right? Like with official orders and communique for this mission, for this op, right?
Yes.
Would it be possible to fudge that and what it says? So it still has that official person behind it.
Yeah, can we just right-click inspect
That's
element?
probably really hard. That's probably really hard. Right?
Well, it's not. You know what? It's not that it's hard. It's actually easier than forging. But like you're essentially using the Justicar, like the Richter's personal
that's rough.
seal
Yeah, I don't know if Booker wants to do that.
Cutting the seal off the paper and gluing
But-
it to a different piece of paper, and you'd have to justify it to him. He could be very angry at you for doing that.
Well, my logic is like, okay, even though this is all digital, like printing out a passport out of nothing is really hard.
That's true.
Stealing
Yes,
someone's
you're right.
passport
Yes.
and putting a photo on it, that's easy. So like
Mhm.
from Riley's point of view, taking official documents and photoshopping them is way easier than fabricating official documents like out of her ass, which is going to take who knows how long,
It's
honestly.
true, yeah. You know what though? Honestly, like from Booker's perspective, a lot of shit has already gone really, really wrong in this mission. So he's
Mhm.
his ass is against the bandsaw, whatever happens in this mission, because fucking people are getting killed. We're, blowing up blimps and shit. Like it's not going well.
The blimp casualty rate is already just like
Kind
through
of
the
Booker's
roof.
thinking this is a necessary evil, so he has a way to justify it if, the Richter, right? That's his name. That's his position, right?
That's his title. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? Booker is going to okay that.
Okay. So you're gonna deconstruct the original orders you got from the Richter. Use their data signature to forge a new document that says what? Like, what? I guess Riley, what do you want it to say?
Boss Ho. Oh man, we're going to get him.
Like targeting him specifically?
No,
Yeah.
what we
Well,
said before.
I'm gonna try to go like a step further and like try to link it back to something that's already happened, so we have like a concrete like paper trail, and
Mhm.
just like have it say like, oh, list of people that have been like implicated or that we have leads on being involved in this like abduction. And I think we
Mhm.
should throw Hein's name in there as well, since like we firebombed his apartment. That'll look like we already strategically like
Yep.
took somebody off the list. If that makes
I was more
sense.
joking about just going for Bosso. No, like what we said before. Yeah, like a list of people that we want to
Mhm.
track down.
We could even put
Okay.
potentially put Barnes on there as well, since he's like MIA, and we could like make it look like, oh, we've either planted evidence on him, or we called up the like local authorities and like reported him in for being a noble, and that was our way of taking care of that guy. And then we like firebombed Hines. So at
Like,
this
we don't-
juncture, we're like, Boss Ho is like next on the list.
We don't want them to think that it was like us doing that, do we?
No,
Like, can't we
no,
just be
but if
like,
we were to
found
like
this list?
we
No,
would've
because
just, like,
you're
plant those
supposed to be like a
names.
concerned third party, right?
Mhm.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
we found your
Okay.
name on
Yeah.
this document we stole. We're your friends who
Right.
are also bad guy criminal types.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look
But
at the other
also,
people on
like,
this list who are already dead.
They're already
like,
dead.
somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
also
That
do
just
the
just
crime.
making
crime.
sure.
Credibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't have
Right.
to know we did the crime. But yeah, like, oh yeah, there's 6 names on this list. 2 of them are dead. Yours is third.
You're trying to
Right.
make him paranoid by using real information and like,
Yeah.
Good
like,
idea.
oh, there's a crux.
dig it.
There's a crux hit squad on the planet, knocking people
You-
off one at a
The
time.
best way to like sell a lie is to put a
Yeah.
little bit of
Rapid
truth.
is true. Yep.
Yeah, I dig it. Okay.
Sorry, I was really
Alright,
excited.
so-
I shouldn't have cut you off.
Listen, it's fine.
Max,
I was
You're
like, I
sitting
get
here.
it. I get it.
You're finishing each other's sandwiches. So, Max, let's book a roll and administer roll for helping the like getting the details right. So administer with intelligence. If you get a 7 or better, it gives a +1 for Riley when Riley does the program roll.
Okay. Administer with what? What did you say? Intelligence?
Intelligence, yeah. Just knowing the details of how these kinds of official documents.
Gotcha. Let's do this.
All right. So whatever you decide to tell him, Riley, Booker is not really any help to you, but he's there, telling you, like helping you with.
I mean, I'm
Emotional
here.
support.
I hope you do a good job.
Okay, so make a program roll. I will make a note of what
Program.
you
Good
get.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, you're good at this.
I don't get the modifier though, right?
You don't get a bonus from him.
13.
Fuck.
dang.
13 equality. That is some hot shit. You just drafted yourself a note that says the president needs to be arrested, and then you show it to the president. He's like, "I guess I'm under arrest." So yeah, like it looks as
Yeah.
official as any other death squad hit list
Right.
as you've ever seen.
Mhm.
And and so you have it squared away. It's heavy shit. So
Alright.
what are you gonna do? Yeah, the papers are airtight.
Mhm. I'm gonna go ahead and just put in it like that. What I just said, that like they've information, or like have it say that we found information on the missing Pick Six, Erickson Muhammad, and the following people are gonna, have it be official communique to or orders to interrogate, extract information, and then eliminate the following people on the list until the boy is
So
found.
what it looks like is someone is calling in a favor with House Crux, and Crux is sending a cyber ninja death squad to come and deal with the problem and recover this missing picture. Okay.
And then just have what names do we want to put on it? We could put Hines. We could put Barnes, since Barnes has been picked up or whatever.
Those make the most sense. Yeah.
Who else have we fucked over?
Else.
That gelato guy, the Kablimp dude, just all of them. They're all part of the conspircy.
Yeah.
Who else don't we like? Yeah.
They're all
like, why do you do this to me? So
Gelato, hey, this sucks. Kablimp guy was like, ugh.
Right.
I mean, technically, we could also put Adderjan on the list.
That's Bonds.
That is
That's
Barnes. Adderjan Barnes that's his first.
Oh wait, who was the guy that we handed over to the? I keep
was
getting
him.
their names mixed up.
Barnes.
Same guy.
Yep.
That's
That was the
him.
one that I kept fixating on him for some reason. I don't know why.
Wait, no,
Adderjan
the
Barnes.
other dude, Radovan. Sorry, I keep getting.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because Radovan is
No.
like Booker's
No,
like
don't do that.
friend.
Like our one.
You do that and hand me that pad, that order, and be like, what?
No. So this is great. So Riley's
He's being
like
interrogated too.
Riley's like, look, I have this list of all these people, and it's literally like all of you, and then like all your friends and your own names and your families. Like, look, just give these to that guy. Like,
I was
that's
like,
my
well,
sister.
What the hell is this?
Radovan has been he's being interrogated. Wait, we don't know that though. Actually,
We don't know what.
We don't know
extent
anything about
it's
Radovan.
yeah. So
We
never
know
mind.
he went to go talk to the loyalty brigade, and that's
It'll
kind of
be.
it.
You know what? Screw it. It'll be Hines, Barnes, Ho, and then 3 other random prism names that because I have a data
Sounds like
copy
a
of,
really good.
that
It
list.
sounds like a really good Honglu folk rock band.
Yeah.
Hines, Barnes, and Ho.
Yeah,
Good.
it'll be Hines, Barnes, Ho, and then just some other random names from the Prism network that I pulled from the data pad that Barnes gave me, because they're all intelligence people, right? So
They
Live
were
from
people that
the-
he was connected to.
They're having a metal ass concert in the junkyards. Live from the junkyards of Honglu.
The Honglu Bowl. It's Hines, Barnes, and Ho. Yep. It's good stuff. Okay. All right. So you have this death order basically. So I will ask the question, and maybe since we're approaching the end of our time here together today, how do you get at Boss Ho? How do you what is your vector to him directly? Consider on that. And I want to give you a side scene before we close out. So you get the thing ready, you look up at Booker, and it's like, okay, we're ready. You get it on your data pad, you get ready to go. You see the Crux symbol, the official symbol of House Crux on the data pad. And we crossfade over to kind of dingy. We've seen a place like this before. We crossfade over to a dingy looking building somewhere that's been repurposed. So we see, brick walls, exposed bulbs, etc. And we see a member of the loyalty brigade, a military, like a militia officer. And he's walking down the hallway, just kind of whistling to himself. He doesn't have his gun out. He's just walking. And then we hear faintly a sound, and he stops. And he turns to look. And then we get that focus pull of someone pointing a pistol at him. And then we hear, and the beam of the pistol goes right through his face, and he tumbles to the floor, smoking. We see someone dressed in a black bodysuit with ammo pouches. They have a mask pulled over their face with goggles, and they turn and they point up, and someone else dressed similarly, kind of Rhodey, runs past them up to a door and looks in, and then gestures to the other person to go down. And we see this 2-person fucking spec ops team moving through the facility. And before we see them leave, the one that gestured in, the one with the pistol that killed the guy, we see him take a black package off of his belt. He sticks it on the wall, hits a couple of buttons. We see an armed light blink on, and then he dips out of the scene, and we fade to black.
God.
God, that was such a good idea.
You know what? That's amazing, and I'm
That's
really,
an amazing idea.
But
I'm like really
No,
happy
no,
for
no.
you.
God.
But
Top
this
shit.
idiot got like scared and shot an innocent lady, and then dropped his gun and started crying like a little bitch. When did he magically become like Splinter Cell levels?
Never
Like when did he
So
become like
two things.
Solid Snake? I have
Two things. One, never ever underestimate the power of masculine machismo to stand in for skill until it really counts. And two, listen, don't tell me you haven't heard of Tom Yancey. He's got this stealth op on lock. Okay?
Tom Yancey.
Tom Yancey's
God damn it.
Spec Ops.
Tom Yancey's Splinter Cell. Yeah, no, it's good. Tom Yancey. Cool. You did this,
They are.
Nomi, and it's
a
working out great.
Splinter Cell right now.
I mean, I'm
They
happy
are.
it's working
Yeah.
out great. I'm not
They're
sad
rogue
about that at all.
operators.
Because Barnes was like totally selling poor Nomi down the river. Not sad about that. Just like pleasantly surprised. Like I don't even know. Like it's just a weird feeling.
I look forward to the time when Yancey gets his own spin-off show. And it's just Adam playing Yancey. Just having a great time because he just gets to be an asshole character to everyone.
who's really cool and is good at everything. Yeah.
Listen, we can
Oh,
talk
that
shit about
Yancey.
Yancey.
It's not
we
his
can
fault
talk shit
he's
about Yancey
racist.
for the entire. He's classist. The entire post show, if you want to. But for now, let's do some shout outs. Starting with Mark. Mark, shout it out.
Hello, I'm Mark Humes. I am a much more effective person than my character Jason Argus is. You can check out my stuff. It's called High Rollers. We have a brand new Twitch channel. It's called High Rollers D&D. We've started a brand new 5th edition campaign. That's the main thing. I'm the GM for that. That's every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time or 9 a.m. Pacific. That's twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. And yeah, it's all D&D. I'm the GM for that. We just started a brand new campaign. It's a brand new world, brand new characters. Perfect time to jump in with that.
Nice. Thank you. Riley, aka Bronze, do the thing.
Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl, your friendly neighborhood angry lower caste member. I'm a
That's a good pun. I get it, cast, because it's two words that mean the same thing.
Caste
But it's
system,
no, that's good.
Isn't it great?
I like that.
Yeah.
Good homonym.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I lived 10 years in India. I know all about the caste system. But hi, hello. On a more positive note, I'm a full-time streamer on Twitch. I do a lot of things. I mostly variety cast. I have a weekly talk show on Fridays. I'm starting up a weekly comic book show on Thursdays. And yeah, you should come by and watch sometime. I say really offensive things like what I just said.
Fantastic. I don't know if you've seen or watched if you watch Glow. There's a character in season 2.
Oh my god.
So there's a character in season 2, a new character, who as soon as she came on screen, Blue and I were both like, whoa, she looks exactly like a Bronze Girl. This is weird. And then the whole season I was just like, why is my
Are you
friend in
talking
this
about the
wrestling
new
show?
junk chain?
Yes.
The new
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
the whole time I was just like, this is weird. It's so uncanny. She really looks a lot like you. So just as an aside. Max, how about you?
I am GassyMexican. I also am a full-time broadcaster here on Twitch. Also dabble around on the YouTubes as well. If you want to follow my stuff, it's all on the bottom there. Best way to know when I go live, like any other broadcaster, is usually Twitter, tweeting about stuff. And sometimes you get the occasional picture of my husky. Good show. I won't be on Court of Swords tomorrow because I got 4th of July plans, but it's still going to be a good one, and I encourage you to tune in if there's some good story stuff going on. But yeah, really fun show today. Thanks to everybody, castmates, and Adam for doing this. I love doing this show, and I hope you guys are really enjoying it. Some really good RP today too. I'm excited to talk about a lot of different points that happen in the show. So thanks guys for watching, and I will catch you the next time.
Cool. Last but not least, secret manipulatrix AnneMunition.
Man, yes, I've been pulling a lot of strings, and I'm just getting real nervous about how many irons are in the fire right now. There's too much going on. Thank you guys for watching. I had a great time today. I'm hoping that Yancey doesn't fuck up. It sounds like he's doing well, but maybe Adam is just lying to us about how well it's going right now. You can follow me at all of the links. As you can see, everything is just the same name, AnneMunition. I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight. I need to go to the grocery store for 4th of July. All hail America. And we'll see. I don't know. I'll let you guys know on Twitter. Thank you for watching the show. I'll see you guys next time.
Cool. Thanks for coming, everybody. This has been episode number 6 of Roleplay Far Verona. I put the Q&A thread in the place where the Q&A thread usually goes, which is say community.itmeJP.com. So go and check that out. I'm your Space Master, Adam Coble. You can find me on twitch.tv/Adam Coble or at skinnyghost on Twitter. If you missed it, we did the second faction turn for Far Verona. It was a big setup turn. You can find the VODs for it on my Twitch channel right now, and they'll be on my YouTube channel later. But yeah, it's a big setup. I think next month's gonna pop off. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. And if you want to get involved in the greater Far Verona faction turn, the larger universe, you want to join a faction like the 14 Red Dogs Triad or House Crux, you can do that by going to patreon.com/roleplay and signing up at any value amount, and that'll get you a ticket into the game. You can check it out. Good stuff. I'm gonna go and we're gonna do the post show, which is also a cool Patreon thing, and I will be back next time with more Far Verona. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.